Hi all, in this video we'll see Java part 7. As part of this video we'll see constructor and inheritance. What do you mean by constructor? What is inheritance? We'll see. First we'll see constructor. Constructor is a special type of method. Constructor is called when an instance of object is created and memory is allocated for that object. When an object is created using new keyword, then at least one constructor is called. That is called default constructor. Constructor name must be same as its class name. Okay, this is all about constructor. Constructor is a special type of method. You see, it is also a method, but we can say it is a special type of method. Constructor is called when an instance of object is created. Okay, constructor name must be same as its class name. So there are two types of constructors. One is default, another is parameterized constructor. So we'll see one by one. So for that we'll go to Eclipse. So we'll create a package called constructor. First we'll see default constructor. We'll create a class default constructor. So first we'll create a method. Public void method, normal method. So this out, this is a normal method. Okay, so constructor means it's a method. Okay, it's a method, but the name of the method should be same as your class name. What is my class name? This is my class name. Method means we need to put this brackets and then starting and ending to close braces. Okay, so this is constructor, that's it. But why it is very special? The name of the constructor is class name. Okay, that is one specialty. Another is we are going to see. This is constructor. So I'll write something here. This is default constructor. Okay, very important the constructor. So we need to understand the constructor name must be equal to class name, and that is the reason it is a special type of constructor. Even other methods we can give whatever name we want according to the requirement of the logic which we are going inside that. But here the name is equal to the class name. Constructor name is equal to the class name. That is called constructor. Okay, and I want to execute this method. What I can do, I will say I need to create an object for this default constructor. This is equals to new default constructor. So I created an object for my class dc dot method. Okay, when I say dc dot method, it will get executed. But how we can execute constructor, this method? Can we have dc dot default constructor? No, we do not have any default constructor, but we have method. You see the method which we have written, but without calling, how we can execute this? Right, so there is a method. If I want to execute that method, I need to call that method by creating an object. So I created an object dc dot method. That is fine, but how can I call default constructor? Whatever it may be, default or constructor, how can I call a constructor? Right, so now we'll try to execute this and we'll see what will happen. You see that? It is executing constructor also. You see, this is default constructor. This is also executing and this is also printing. The same way I call this method, that is the reason this is a normal method. This is also printing. But how it is printing? I did not call. So that is the speciality. So we have two specialties, like the name of the method is equals to the class name, that is called constructor, and the second is to execute this, no need to call this method, you just create an object. We are using new keyword, right? When I comment this, when I execute this now, you see, the moment when I create this line, default constructor DC is equal to new default constructor. So this is called constructor actually. Without parameters called, this is default constructor. The moment when you use new keyword, it will automatically get executed. That is the beauty of constructor. So by using constructor, we can execute some code without calling that method. Okay, we have some set of code that should be executed the moment when you create an object, so that can be written in a constructor. Okay, if there is a normal method, so we need to explicitly call dc.method, then only it will get executed. You see, so this is called constructor. Very simple, straightforward, and very important. Okay, we have seen parameterized methods. The same way, this is also one method. Now we'll see parameterized constructor. So a constructor will with some parameters called parameterized constructor. So we'll see now one example. Okay, very simple. This is also straightforward. Class parameterized constructor. Okay, so I need to create a constructor, so it should be the same of my class name. So I copy pasted. So what I'll do here, I'll give string first name comma string last name. Okay, so what I'll do is out first name plus last name. Here I'll give some space. Okay, then there is a space between first name and last name. Then I give like this. So if I want to execute this now, what I need to do, just create an object. PC is equals to new. That's it. But here I am getting some error. The previously I did not get any error, but here I am getting error, and it is saying that add arguments. So you need to add arguments. The reason is the constructor is accepting two parameters. So we need to provide those two parameters when you create an object to that. So that is the reason I said this is the actual constructor. When you do not have anything, that is called default constructor. But if you have something to pass, you need to use that. Okay. So what is the first name? What is the last name? You just give some. What name I can give? I'll say Peter, comma Parker. Okay, that's it. No need to call right PC dot. You will not get anyhow this method. But the moment when you create this line, when you write this line, it will automatically get executed. So this Peter will be replaced with the first name. The Parker will be replaced with the last name. That will be get printed here. Okay. So when I execute this now, this is Peter Parker. Simply it is printing. So this is parameterized constructor. So we have constructor is a special type of method. It will get executed the moment when you create an object. Okay. If a constructor without parameter is called default constructor, but a constructor is having with some parameter is called parameterized constructor. So how you use, we have seen by taking these two examples. This is default, this is parameterized. Okay, this is default. This is all about a constructor, very useful, will use very frequently. The reason is, if you want to initialize something, no need to call that. So we'll just put in the constructor. The moment when you create an object, the code will get execute. Okay, so all the initializations will be done. So most of the times to initialize something, we'll use constructor. Okay, this is all about constructor. Now we'll see the next topic. What is that? Inheritance. Inheritance is a process where one class acquires the properties, methods or fields of another class. So if you have two classes, so one class will acquire the properties of another class. That is called inheritance. With the inheritance, the information is made manageable in a hierarchical order. So from one class to another class, that class to another class, it will pass the information. That is the reason it is a manageable in a hierarchical order. The class which inherits the properties of another class is known as subclass or derived class or child class. Okay, the class whose properties are inherited is known as superclass or base class or parent class. So we will use extends keyword to inherit the properties of a class. So to achieve inheritance, we need to use extends keyword. Extends is a inbuilt keyword in the Java. Okay, this is all about theoretical part of inheritance. To acquire the properties of one class to another class is called inheritance. So for that, the inherits class is called subclass, or inherited class is called superclass, and we use extends keyword to get the achieve the inheritance. So we'll look into this by taking some examples. Okay, go to this one. I'll create a package, new class. Sorry, I'll create a package first. New package, inheritance. Okay, I'll create a package. Inside this, I'll create a class. That class is called calculator. Okay, when I'm building an application, there is a requirement. I need some methods, kind of calculator methods. Okay, so I created a calculator. I need addition and subtraction. Right. So what I did, according to my requirement, public void addition. Okay, I created a method. So I'll say I will add, otherwise 2, or I will add numbers. Okay, so the same way I have public void subtraction. Okay, as out I will subtract numbers. Simply I have two methods. So according to the requirement, I need to create two methods, addition and subtraction. I added these things. So I have implemented the logic. I started using this. Okay. So how to execute this? So I need to create an object for this. Calculator C is equals to new calculator. Right. So now I'll call these methods. Okay. C dot addition, C dot subtraction, right? That we know already. In this calculator I did not do any new things. I just created a class called calculator. Inside that I created two methods. I have written some logic inside this. I created an object. I'm just executing that. That's it. So we'll try to execute this first. So I will add numbers, I will subtract numbers. I'm printing that. Okay. So now what happened, as I'm building a very big application, in the initial stage I need two methods called addition and subtraction. So I did this. It is just an example I'm explaining. So after some time, 3 months or 2 months or 4 months, or after some time, there is a requirement that I need to create one more calculator called advanced calculator. Okay, I need to create one more class called advanced calculator. So what happened, then I started creating a class. Then I started creating that class. So I create this class. What is that? Advanced calculator. So here what happened, the requirement is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, this is my requirement. So what happened, I started writing public void addition s out. I will add numbers. Fine. So what I did, public void subtraction, same way s out. I will subtract numbers. Okay. So what is that? One more method, public void multiplication. Okay, I'll print something like this. I will multiply numbers. Okay, one more method is public void division. I will divide the number, something like that. Okay, I implemented something like this. So I created an object, AC is equals to new advanced calculator. So AC dot addition, AC dot subtraction, AC dot multiplication, AC dot division. Okay, everything is fine, nothing new. The same way how did calculator, same thing I did in advanced calculator. Now I just executed this. So I am printing all these things. But here my issue is I already implemented these two methods. I have written the logic for this in one of our previous classes. As I am building a very big application, in one of the classes there is a requirement. So according to that requirement, I already created these two methods. So here again the same requirement came. I need addition and subtraction. So if I am writing again the logic, if I am writing again the same method with the same logic, so it's a duplicate code, redundancy, right? So what is the reason behind creating methods, all these things? For the purpose of reusability. But here what we are doing, we are again creating the methods with the same logic. Even the logic is also not different, same thing. The replica is there in some other class, even though I am creating again. It's a best practice, no, right? So already we have put so much of effort, we think so much to write that logic, and we did everything is available with us. So there is a requirement of some other place. So we are doing the same thing. We may not think, but we are still writing the same thing, right? It's a duplicate code. Fine. Let's assume it's a normal 4 lines of code I have written. Okay? But in real time it will not be the case, right? Very critical operations to interacting with the database, to interacting with some other applications outside the application. There will be so many options, right? Very big code, very complex logic. So we have written. After some time, what happened? Let's assume there is a database. You need to do some connections. You have to perform something. Okay, you connected to the database. You have written the logic, everything. The same requirement is there in other class. You did the same thing. So after some time means 1 or 2 months or some time, what happened? The connection information is changed. Connected to the database information is changed. Okay, so according to that, I need to change my code. Where to change the code? I need to change the code in my calculator, and the same way I need to change the code in my advanced calculator also. In the same way, if I use this in multiple places, then what happens? It will become very tedious job to revisit each and every code, and we need to change everywhere. Writing is killing some time, right? We are writing again and again. That is killing some time, and it is creating redundancy code. Apart from that, if there is any change, we need to revisit all the classes and we need to change everywhere. So it will kill some more time. So we may miss somewhere. Your application may break. Right? So many complex issues will come. How you avoid this? Right? To avoid this, we'll use inheritance concept. So what is the logic behind the inheritance? We already read that acquiring the properties of one class to another class. Right. One class to another class means, can we acquire the same properties or methods from the calculator to advanced calculator? Right. From calculator to advanced calculator, can we get the same thing which already available? Why to write again and again? Right. So we'll try to do that. So I'll remove this. Okay, I'll remove this. So I'm getting an error. Okay, so but this is available in the calculator. So I will inherit calculator to advanced calculator. How to do that? We already say that we need to use one of the keywords called extends. So how to use that? Come here, after the class, give a space. Your class name is advanced calculator, right? Give a space, extends. You see that it became violet color. Give a space and give calculator. Errors gone, right? So previously, when I do not have this extends, I am getting some errors, addition and subtraction. The moment when I did this extends calculator, so the errors gone. How it gone? So we are acquiring something from the calculator. Okay, so the same information is available in the calculator, so I will get it from there. So when I command click or control click here, it will navigate to, you see that, calculator class, that method. So from here I am getting that by using inheritance concept, by using extends keyword. Right, this is inheritance. So if there is any change in the future, so if only in the calculator, if I change this logic, wherever I inherited, it will reflect in all the places, right? No need to revisit all the classes. Wherever I need, I'll simply extend calculator. Then there is no meaning of using the redundant code. Right. Now if I run this, you see that same output I am getting. I remove some duplicate code and I am getting the same thing using inheritance. And manageability, maintenance is less maintenance if something goes wrong. Right. So this is the advantage when you go with inheritance. Okay. So now here, what it will call, and some notes right here. What it is? Calculator is superclass or parent class, or what is that? Superclass, parent class. One more we are studying. Base class. Okay, base class. The same way, what is advanced calculator? Subclass or child class or derived class. Right, the terminology which we are using. So advanced calculator is getting some properties from the calculator. That is the reason it became child class, that became parent class. So this terminology will use in order to remember. Right. So we are acquiring the properties or methods from the previous method. Okay. So this is called inheritance. So we can do one more thing. Okay. I'll create, after some time there is a requirement that scientific calculator. SCIENT calculator. Okay. In the scientific calculator, I have one more separate functionality for this. Okay. I'll just simply write public void calc temperature, something like that. I'm just giving some example. This out, I will calculate temperature, just an example. But as a scientific calculator, I need everything. I need to add, I need to subtract, I need to multiply, I need to divide, everything I need. Right. But this functionality is already available. This functionality is already available in previous classes. So do I need to use calculator or advanced calculator here? If I use calculator, I will get only addition and subtraction. But if I use advanced calculator, in the advanced calculator I have multiplication and division. So here only two methods, there are only two methods, but I need four methods. What to do? Okay, first we'll try to do using extends calculator. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll create an object for this. SC is equals to new scientific calculator. So if I say SC dot, I'm getting addition, SC dot, I'm getting subtraction, SC dot calci temperature, SC dot multiplication I'm not getting. Okay, multiplication I'm not getting. If I execute this, it's fine, it's working till these three methods. But I need multiplication and division. Then what to do? So we'll try to do extending the advanced calculator. What will happen? advanced calculator. Okay, so I'm not getting any errors, but these are all not there in the advanced, right? I should get some errors, but I'm not getting. So if I say SC dot multiplication, SC dot division, and SC dot, oh, I'm getting addition. So what is that? Right, when I use advanced calculator, then I'm getting everything from the calculator also. So the reason is scientific calculator extending advanced calculator extending calculator. So then scientific calculator will get all the method from the calculator also it will get. Okay, this is how, if you run this, you see all the 5 methods are getting executed. So this is called inheritance. Here how it looks like is, I'll go to the notes. Now calculator is called parent class. Okay, scientific calculator is called child class. Advanced calculator is called intermediary class. So it is in between these two. I don't know spelling. Intermediary class. So we'll call this the terminology. So this is called multi-level inheritance. This is called multi-level inheritance. Right. Multi-level inheritance from one class to another class, that class to again one more class, step by step. Calculator to advanced calculator, and then advanced calculator to scientific calculator. So calci, so advanced calci, then scientific calci. Right, this is how I'm getting the properties of one class to another class, from calculator to advanced, from advanced to scientific. So I'm avoiding writing the duplicate code. Right, I'm not writing the duplicate code. If there is any change in addition, if you go to the calculator, if you change there, it will reflect in advanced calculator, it will reflect in scientific calculator also. Okay, very much helpful, very much needed, will use very frequently inheritance concept. Okay, this is all about inheritance. Okay, that's all in this video. Thank you.